Anyone who's a fan of modern web servers knows Caddy. I mean, it's the one that made HTTPS basically a non-issue. But if you've ever tried to run it in a serious production environment, you know there's been this giant hole, a powerful centralized way to manage it all. Well, we're about to explore the blueprint for the tool that aims to fill that exact gap, CaddyDeck. All right, so how do you even start to build the definitive UI for a tool that's as beloved as Caddy? Well, you do it in stages. First, we're going to dig into why this is even an opportunity. Then, we'll look at the design philosophy, the blueprint, if you will. And from there, we'll follow its journey through 3 key phases, from a minimum viable product to an enhanced platform for teams, and finally, to a full-blown enterprise powerhouse. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of the problem. Caddy's popularity, it's just blown up, right? But there's always been this one crucial piece of the puzzle missing. Sure, you can manage it with its API or by editing config files, but there's never been a single, modern, and this is the big one, a safe way to tie it all together. That is the exact gap CaddyDeck was born to fill. And look, this quote from the project's own docs, it just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about just another admin panel. No way. The goal is to become the standard, the one tool that everyone, from a hobbyist running a server in their basement to a massive enterprise operations team, instinctively reaches for to manage Caddy. So, when you boil it all down, what is CaddyDeck? Well, it's that missing link, an open-source web UI designed from the ground up to be a safe, centralized control panel. It's built for everyone, from the hobbyist just messing around at home to the serious DevOps team that's on the hook for critical production systems. You know, great software isn't just a laundry list of features, right? It's about the philosophy behind it. So let's take a look at the actual blueprint for CaddyDeck, which is built on some really solid, intentional design principles. And this is what I absolutely love. The focus is on pure utility. Clarity over decoration means the interface isn't going to waste your time with a bunch of flashy junk. But confident actions, that one's the real gem here. It's basically a promise from the UI to you that when you're about to push a change to production, it's going to be almost impossible to mess it up by accident. It's all about preventing that heart-stopping, oh no moment. And here's a perfect example of that clarity principle in action. This color system, it's not just there to look pretty, it's semantic. Red means stop, something's wrong. Amber is a heads up. Green means you're good to go. It's designed so you can literally glance at your screen and instantly understand the health of your entire system. No reading necessary. All right, so with that design philosophy locked in, we can jump into the first build, the minimum viable product, the MVP. And the goal here is absolutely laser-focused. Just deliver the essential tools to manage Caddy safely and reliably. That's it. Nothing extra. And you'll notice the goal here, it's not some big, long list of features. It's about one single thing, building trust. Because for an MVP to work, especially for something as critical as infrastructure, it has to be absolutely rock solid. It needs to be secure enough that you feel confident running it in production from day one. Okay, this right here, this is the killer feature of the MVP. It's called the config safety loop, and it's designed to just completely get rid of that anxiety you feel when you're about to deploy a new config. So you make your edits, right? Then you get a super clear diff that shows you exactly what's about to change. Then you hit apply. Caddy validates it before it ever goes live. And let's say something still goes wrong, no problem. One click and you can roll back to any previous version. That's a huge confidence booster for anyone managing a server. So phase 1 really nails the core experience for a single admin, a solo operator. But let's be real, modern infrastructure isn't a one-person show. It's all about teams. And that's what brings us to phase 2, where CaddyDeck really grows up from a personal tool into a full-on collaborative platform. So the first huge addition here is role-based access control, or, RBAC. And for teams, this is an absolute game changer. Suddenly, you can set super granular permissions. Like maybe a developer can only look at production configs, read only. An operator can actually apply changes, and only a super admin can touch the user management. It's just a fundamental security piece for any team. But phase 2 isn't just about locking things down. It's also about giving you insight. So CaddyDeck adds these awesome pre-built dashboards that pull all the key metrics straight from Caddy. And just like that, you have instant visibility into stuff like performance latency, the health of your SSL certificates, traffic patterns, the whole 9 yards. It's all about turning that raw data into answers you can actually use. Okay, so this is perfect for a growing team, but it naturally leads to that inevitable enterprise question. What about the big guys?
how does this thing scale for a huge organization with hundreds, maybe thousands of servers, and all those strict compliance and security policies?
And that question brings us perfectly to phase 3, enterprise. This is where CaddyDeck truly levels up. It becomes a solution that's built for the biggest, most demanding deployments out there, with a huge focus on massive scale, ironclad security, and seamless integration into the corporate world.
Just look at the evolution of how users even log in. In phase 2, you had your own internal roles, which is great for a self-contained team. But phase 3, it adds SAML-based single sign-on, SSO. And for any large company, that's not a nice-to-have, it's an absolute must-have. It means CaddyDeck can plug right into their corporate identity system, like Okta or Azure AD. So employees just log in with the same credentials they use for everything else.
And believe me, it is way more than just SSO. We're talking about stuff like multi-tenancy, which is perfect for managed service providers who need to handle multiple clients from one place. You've got high availability clustering to make sure there's no single point of failure. And get this, it even uses machine learning to spot weird performance anomalies, flagging problems before your users even notice. Okay, now this is a huge deal for any company that's in a regulated industry like healthcare or finance. Think about it. Instead of having auditors spend weeks, literally weeks, digging through mountains of logs, CaddyDeck is designed to just generate reports. And these reports directly map its built-in features like audit trails and access controls to these specific, painful requirements of standards like HIPAA, SOC 2, and PCI. I mean, that can save an unbelievable amount of time and headaches. So after we've walked through this whole 3-phase journey from a solid MVP all the way to a full enterprise suite, we can kind of zoom back out and see how it all comes together to make that initial, really ambitious vision a reality. This timeline just brings the entire strategy into perfect focus, doesn't it? It's a story of really methodical, smart growth over just 9 months. They didn't try to boil the ocean and build the entire enterprise suite from day one. Nope. Instead, each phase logically builds on the one before it, which is how you end up with a stable, mature, and really well thought out platform. So, at the end of the day, CaddyDeck is designed to scale not just in a technical sense, but to scale right alongside its users. It gives that home labber tinkering in their basement real immediate value. But at the same time, it provides all the robust security and heavy-duty features that an enterprise architect absolutely demands. It's a tool that really does meet you wherever you are. And this brings us to the really powerful final question that CaddyDeck leaves us thinking about. It's trying to make the management experience as simple and secure as Caddy itself already is. And it makes you wonder, what if managing our most critical web infrastructure could finally stop being this complex, high-stakes chore and instead become something simple, confident, and maybe, just maybe, even enjoyable?